Dearest gentle listeners, you are listening to the Ladies Bridgerton Swiftie edition, the talk of the dawn. We are your effervescent hosts. Made me so happy to hear her use the word effervescent in her new album. Your neighborhood-friendly Kiwi, Tash from Middle-earth, New Zealand.
And Pattie, Regency romance enthusiast, not quite a Swiftie, who is in her
survival era.
Strong, confident, intelligent, independent, and dependable era, which sounds like the start of a Swiftie album, a Swift album, honestly.
Absolutely. Dearest, no. Settle down onto your favorite city as we delve into the lives of the elite and illustrious ladies, lords, and Swifties of the ton. This Bridgerton podcast is two friends talking romance, symbolism, Easter eggs, very Swiftie coded, and deep Swifting into the connections of our favorite characters. We cover both book, TV series, and notable social media, and therefore will contain spoilers.
Before I do my intro, I just want to say that I posted in our Tangent Squad Facebook right before we started that I'm about to podcast for a few hours with a Swiftie only 2 days after the new album drop. And I wonder how this is going to go. And Kay just posted sorrows, prayers.
Love it.
So, dearest listeners, as we have said before, the Ladies Bridgerton is a safe space. We accept our authentic selves and our Delulu, and our listeners as well. So today, we aren't apologizing for tangents because the entire pod today is a huge tangent. Our fair Tash the Kiwi is a Swiftie, and her brain has been consumed with the life of a showgirl since its release on the 3rd. We were already planning a pod diving into the eras and which belongs to each Bridgerton, but today, due to voice notes and Swiftie addiction, we bring you Penelope Bridgerton, née Featherington, the life of a showgirl. We analyze themes and lyrics and convey our thoughts on why this is Penelope's era of the Swift anthology.
Apologies to our Bridgerton Swifties out there, but today's episode ended up being so long. It was over 2 hours 23 before I started editing this. Therefore, we decided to split this into 2 episodes to make it a little bit more palatable. So we are starting out this episode discussing Eldest Daughter, which is a fantastic hit. So we hope you enjoy that. It is split into 2 today. So Eldest Daughter is it's a really popular term, especially amongst millennial Gen Xers, of girls who have been parentified and not just parentified, but it's just and as Taylor said, she said, I've talked to so many millennial eldest daughters, and we all seem to have had the exact same experience of kind of the pressure that we feel on us to be everything.
You're the example to,
or your younger
you're
cousins.
held to a different standard.
You are held to a different standard, and it's all about trying to live up to people's expectations of you and how crushing that can be. So I personally love this one. The lyrics, the tempo, it is a really, even though it's sad, it's a really catchy song. I nearly cried when I heard it for the first time because track 5 always makes me cry. So it goes, everybody's so punk on the internet. Everybody's unbothered till they're not. Every joke's just trolling and memes. Sad as it seems, apathy is hot. Everybody's cutthroat in the comments. Every single hot take is cold as ice. When you said that, sorry, that's the next bit I added. But this is basically Penelope talking about how harsh the ton is. Everybody in it is cruel to each other and think nothing of it until it happens to be about them. Like Cressida. Cressida is probably one of the harshest of the ton, and so is Araminta, and it's all cool and fun and hot until it's centered at them, and then they're like, oh, how could the ton do this to us? We are who we are. Everybody thinks nothing of it until it's aimed at them. And only then do they know how it feels.
And also her own self. She's made her fortune pointing the finger at other people. And then she had to write about herself or else it would look strange. And having to, she basically pulled her own inner critic out and put it on paper nobody really realizes that. Everybody thinks, even Eloise, I think, thinks it's fabricated for the page. But when you read that, when that Whistledown is read out to us, that's kind of how Penn thinks about herself. What she's heard from the ton and her mother and everything her whole life is she believes about herself.
Yes.
And having to turn the pen back onto her was hard and it sucked. But yeah, like, and this kind of plays off like, you know, the trolls and the memes, everybody's unbothered in the comments till they're not. There's that safety of the internet that we see in the ton when there's safety in numbers. When you're gossiping with other people, there's safety there. You're all against that person. You're all saying it. So even though gossip is looked at in a bad way, like, oh, it's just another scandal sheet and you know, gossip is so terrible. Everybody loves gossip, though. They can talk and say, oh, like Benedict going, I think you would be above Whistledown, right? And she's like, I'm not above a woman speaking her mind. Like, she's the first person who said, like, I'm cool with this, you know? Mm-hmm. But most people talk down about it, and they talk down about Whistledown, but they're all buying it, aren't? And Colin even said, everybody pays to see their names in print.
Yes, very much. So the next part is, I said I was busy. That was a lie. This feels like when Colin returned from his travels and kept getting the cut from Penelope, not realizing that she had overheard his comments. Sol's busy.
Like, yeah. Or even later under the tree, like, I'm still busy finding a husband. Like, peace out, Girl Scout.
Yeah, I know. Very much that. That's a really great point. Yeah, like she was keeping him at arm's length for one reason or another. Now, this one I was like, I have been afflicted with a terminal uniqueness. I've been dying just from trying to seem cool. Penelope was trying so hard with her outfit changes and just like trying to socialize with the lords of the ton. She was trying to mold herself into what society wanted, into a society that did not understand or accept her uniqueness. Like, they do not care that Penelope is intelligent, that she is witty, that she has a kind heart. They care what number is on the back of her waistline.
Yes, but do you know who I really see in that line?
Who's that?
Colin.
Yeah, very much.
Being what everybody wants him to be in society. He is a Bridgerton. He is Colin Bridgerton.
Yes.
But he's really just this sensitive writer, creative type. And he just wants to be liked for his authentic self. And people only like him if he's talking callously the way they are, if he's being cavalier with women the way they are. And that's just not who he is. And he hates it.
Yeah.
That kind, I mean, I can see, like, in terms of Taylor, like, this line to me is like, when I'm on stage, I'm this boss babe, you know, pop star, whatever. Mm-hmm. But when I'm at home, I make sourdough and I read books and, you know, I go to my boyfriend's football game. Yeah, she knits. Like, she's just a regular old down home person.
She's just a classic millennial in her grandma era.
she's every human being that came out of COVID with new skills because they were bored. You know, like, everybody learned how to make sourdough and crochet or knit or something else. But Penelope's the same way there too.
Or just got drunk for like a month straight.
Penelope and Taylor, they both created something that was cooler than they were.
Yes.
And now they're stuck having to attempt to live up to the coolness of that persona.
And that is the next line. But I'm not a bad bitch. And this isn't savage. But I'm never gonna leave you out. So many traitors, smooth operators, but I'm never going to break that vow. I'm never going to leave you now. Penelope is finally giving up on trying to fit into the ton and realizing that she only ever wanted to be herself with the Bridgertons. And I don't even just say Colin, because it includes, like, Eloise as the other part of her heart as well. You can't, you know.
Do you know what that lyric is to me? That exact whole lyric. That's the... and I can't believe I let you talk to me about my writing. You're a published writer. Da 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 da. Like, what good am I to you? I love you. Like, that's I'm never gonna leave you. Like, I'm not a bad bitch. I'm not savage.
I'm
like,
just
that's
Pen.
I'm just Pen, and I love you. That's all I need is to love you. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, that whole lyric just screams outside the Modiste to me.
Well,
because she's got to tell him, like.
And I kind of think that this is also why she kind of goes left field and is like, hey, I don't want Lady Whistledown to be what she is anymore. Like, Colin, like, now that she knows that Colin loves her and she's shunning all the fakeness of the ton and, like, he is all that she needs. She's like, I don't have all this negativity to get out now. Like, I want Lady Whistledown to be a positive force in society, to expect the best of them, to encourage the best in them.
To be influential in the right way.
Mm-hmm. And then this one's just remind me of some of those kind of like not fanfics, but the fanfic that we've kind of made up in our heads. You know, the last time I laughed this hard was on the trampoline in someone's backyard. I must have been 8 or 9. That was the night I fell off and broke my arm. Like Penelope's happy place has always been with Colin, and she knew it even in childhood.
Yeah.
Like the last time I laughed this hard was when we were kids and we just got to like that line where he says, you know, you were so charming when you were young, like they've always been each other's person, even in youth. And it just took them a long time to realize, hey, it's more than just friendship.
And they always laugh so easily.
Yes, because they're actually real with each other. And then they go through this period where it's kind of the awkward, well, you're in the ton now, you're a debutante, I'm an eligible bachelor, and so how we have to be around each other has had to change, but we miss that side of each other. We miss just being real with each other, not being Miss Featherington and Mr. Bridgerton. I just want to be Colin and Pen.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it made me what it made me think of. And then that was the night I fell off and broke my arm. Pretty soon I learned cautious discretion when your first crush crushes something kind. I don't think I need to tell anyone of the ton what line this refers to.
Right.
I would never
We all
dream of
know.
courting Penelope Featherington. I wouldn't court her. I'd just go straight to marriage.
I don't court her at all. I tell her I'm teaching her how to get a husband.
Yeah. But he did. He crushed that sort of childhood sort of dream that she had of him being perfect. But in doing so, it allowed her to truly see him and be his true match, warts and all. Like he had crushed that perspective that she had of this perfect prince from her childhood, and now he's a real person to her.
And it made him have to say out loud to himself. He didn't tell anyone. We find out with Cressida that he had finally said it out loud to himself on his travels, that he didn't like being without Penelope. She had always been there. From the time she was there, she was always there. And I think he acted on that fear without naming that fear. Rushing out and jumping into a betrothal with Marina was a fear of watching Penelope be on the marriage mart and possibly get scooped up by someone else because he didn't believe it could be him. Rushing off to his travels after everything fell apart was running away because he couldn't watch her potentially be courted. And then he's writing her the whole summer. You know, he acted on that fear up until he spoke it out loud to himself. And then he came home, I think, marriage minded from the time I think he concocted the plan on the boat somehow. Like, I've got to figure out how to get us alone. I've got to figure out how to get her to talk to me so that we can talk about our feelings and we can just hurry up and get married already. Because I think the whole point of Francesca just wanting to hurry up and find someone and get married and rush through it was a theme that plays into the main story. And I think that Colin came home like, no, I'm done with this. We're just going to get married already. We're just going to do it. I'm not playing this game anymore.
And then
so
it plays into we lie back a beautiful, beautiful time lapse. Like, this is just a note to the fact that they've always been in each other's lives and they've always loved each other, just in different capacities as they've grown up. And I think it is hard for Colin because Penelope is a few years younger. And even though when you get older, a few years is nothing, but when you're 14 and 16 respectively, you feel so grown up compared to them because I'm 2 years older. I can drink, I can drive, I'm off at Eden. I'm a grown up and she's still in leading strings. Like, it doesn't feel,
or even
it doesn't,
the worst, like when she got launched, she was launched a year early. She was young. She was not supposed to be out. He could not actively pursue her because it would look terrible. He was a grown man. Like, the expectation now, a Nigel Burbrook kind of person would potentially have pursued her or whatever. But Colin knew because he's so noble and he's like, I'm a gentleman. He could not because he was a gentleman. And his biggest fear was that because he believed her, like, he always saw Whistledown, if that makes sense. Like, her powerful, beautiful, like, confident person. He always saw that in her. He didn't understand why everybody else was treating her the way she was. He just couldn't see that being logical.
Even think of Samantha, for example, your niece. I say that. I'm not saying it for you. I'm saying it for the listener.
Right.
Do you know Samantha?
I got that. I'm like, no, I got that. You're like, so see, we are friends. She knows about my other family members. No.
But like, even think about Samantha. She's an adult now. She's a mum. She's a grown up. Do you see her as much grown up as you, or is she still in your mind a little bit of a kid because not because she's immature or kid-like, but because you've seen her as a kid.
My nephew Josh
Hmm.
is turning 37 this year.
That's rude.
He's a kid to me
Hmm. And so
because I held him as a baby. I taught him how to tie his shoes. I taught him how to crawl.
yeah. And so to me, like this is Colin. He's always loved her, but in his mind, she was still a kid. I mean, not to the harshness that Marina said it, but he really had a hard time, I think, rectifying that he loved her so much and now that love is forming into something different, but this is the little girl I grew up with.
Okay, so for me, I don't think it's so much that he saw her as a kid because he always loved her. I think he couldn't even get Anthony and his family to see him as a grown up.
Yes.
How was he going to get them? Like he thought the obstacle was getting them to see that she was grown up and that they could get married because they didn't even see him as a grown up.
Hmm.
They've always doted on him and his brothers always like looked at him kind of how they looked at Gregory all through season 3, like, oh, isn't that so cute, Colin did that, like, he thinks he's a grown-up. He thinks he's a grown-up but he's not, like he was just at that age where you try and say, hey, I'm one of you now, and they're like, no, you're not. I remember that. I mean, my older siblings are a lot older.
Hmm.
So when I became an adult, and I'll even say, like, when I became an adult and they tried to integrate me in later, like when I was like, 23, 24, 25,
Hmm.
I go to a cookout at the house. Our band was playing there, but I hung out with the kids, my nieces and nephews. Like, I tried to be an adult with you guys for a long time and you were like, no. So now I'm
That's
just going to hang out
exhausting.
with your kids. Yeah, I'm done. I'm just going to hang out with your kids and, have fun.
Like
But I think
some
for him, like because Benedict and Antony were so much older, he couldn't wrap his head around how do I get them to see her as grown up when she's 2 years younger than me. They don't even see me as grown up.
Yeah, yeah. All right. The next bit is, and we talked about this before. Ferris wheels, kisses, and lilacs. All the things I said were dumb because I thought I'd never find that beautiful, beautiful life that shimmers that innocent light back like when we were young. And that's that line that I was saying to you earlier about the conversation they were having of when they first met, when they were young, and they could just be themselves and they were free to be themselves. The light that comes with not pretending to be anything other than yourself when you're young. You're not trying to be cool. You're not trying to be hip. You're not trying to fit into the ton. You're just yourself. And I think
think that fits into book Penelope. Like if we talk about the whole spinster pack,
Mhm.
Eloise wanted to be a real spinster. She didn't want to get married until she met Sir Philip, Penelope always wanted to get married. She always wanted that, but she played it off because she thought it was never going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that. I don't want to lose my freedom. I don't want to have to take somebody's last name and be their property. She was just that type. So her and Eloise were both saying they wanted to be spinsters, but for two totally different reasons. And that plays into that for me is like, because human beings do that. Like we have so many depictions in TV shows and everything else about somebody sneering someone else for having something that they want, but they're acting like they don't because they don't have it, like,
Mhm.
like the people who look at, I grew up in a family that was not aligned with money, we'll say. And the conversation around money starts sounding like, oh my God, you don't want it. Money is the root of all evil. Money makes you selfish. Money creates its own problem. Everybody wants your money when you have money. You know what I mean? Like, that's why there's such a large faction of people currently that think taxes are bad. Like, if taxes are allocated the correct way, they're not bad. Like, it's okay.
Socrates might have something to say about that. The only thing in life that's inevitable is death and taxes.
Yeah, I don't think we should have our income taxed and then turn around and have to go get a tax on our cheeseburger or our clothes at the store. I don't think we should have all that kind of tax. That's way too much taxation.
That's a whole other podcast, though.
That's a whole other podcast. But I think that when somebody doesn't have something and they don't think they're ever going to have it, they start giving it a stigma of how it's not wantable.
Yeah.
Well, how could you even want that?
Well,
because it's so terrible.
And like for Penelope, it's not that she never thought she would be married per se. She never thought that she would have a marriage with love. And that's why she nearly accepted Debblings, because she's like, I've been told my whole life I'm not lovable. Like, well,
yeah,
someone's not going to choose. Like,
that,
no,
yeah.
but like
that they're not going to choose her. She's not.
Yeah,
because all the Marriage Mart was a retail store for young girls to be sold
Yes.
off to men because women couldn't hold property, they couldn't have a job. So basically, they were the
Portia had put
property.
her on the clearance rack and was like, "Yeah, it's there. I put it in the back room. It's still on clearance, but it's in the back room. Like, if you want it, I can go get it out. But like, I don't think you really want it."
Yeah, Portia kept her in the storage room and put a sign out saying, "Hey, there's a third girl. I don't know where she is. She's here somewhere.
Hmm.
If you want her, just let me know." But they can't see what they could potentially get, so
But look at
nobody
all these
chooses that.
options instead. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so I think that Penelope had been told her whole entire life that she wasn't going to be chosen. And if she was chosen, it was going to be a marriage of convenience, a way to propel her family forward in society, never, ever for love. So she thought, if you just make fun of those things, it doesn't hurt if you don't have it.
Okay, we're ready to.
Okay. Let me preface this with the song is not at all. The whole entire internet thought that this was going to be a diss track, and it is not.
No.
This song
It's
is
advice.
it is advice. Take it. Sends on the internet to dragons.
I'll read the lyrics I screenshot. Yes.
Okay, so the premise of this song is called Ruin the Friendship, and it is Taylor has gone back to her roots of writing about high school and some of the things that she went through and like thinking back on where she came from in life and how she got here and some of her inspirations along the line. So she decided to kind of throw a nod back to a relationship, a friendship that she had in high school in which she was in love with one of her best friends or had a crush or however you want to phrase it. She had feelings for one of her best friends, but over the time period, it wasn't convenient. He had a girlfriend. She had someone. The
And
moon
they
wasn't
both didn't
facing
want
the,
to
the moon
ruin the
wasn't
friendship.
facing Venus that night. She had to wash her hair. There were reasons that couldn't be.
She had to go to prom with someone else, apparently.
She had to go to prom with someone else. So it's all about if you feel it, take the risk. Sometimes it's worth risking it. Like, really, at the end of the day, is it so consequential if you take the risk? The friendship, if it was that good to start with, can survive it if you share your feelings. So it's the
Yeah.
premise is
Well,
all
can
about
I
having.
say, because everybody thought this was going to be a diss track? And
Mhm.
this is a person who's 35 years old and she writes her feelings into song. And we've all had that friend or had that classmate that passed away. Like maybe not an overdose like this was, but you always look. And for her, I think that plays into it because she's thinking, all those paths that were there or could have been there. What if I'd have done this? What if I'd have done that? Would he still be here today? Kind of thing. And she admits in the song that it still would have been a mistake, but she wished she would have made the mistake because that's a memory she would have had. And now there's no memories to be made at all.
Yes.
And
So
she's saying like it, and it's years later,
yeah, I think
15, 17 years later. And
I think
well,
Jeff
she's
Lang.
35. So
No. So he passed away well after high school, and her best friend Abigail rang and say, "Hey, look, Jeff has
I know,
has."
but I'm saying this event where she's talking about I should have kissed you then.
Oh,
These
yes,
were high school memories.
yes.
So this is like 17, 18, 19 years ago. And she has lived so much life that she now knows what would it have crushed us
Hmm.
if I would have just kissed you, if I would have told you I had feelings, if we would have acted on it. It still would have been a mistake. We wouldn't be together now. I see where I'm supposed to be, but would it have been so devastating to, you know what I mean? So it's like
Yes.
there's this regret. She's
Yeah.
going through this
It's
regret,
it might not work
and
out, but what if it does? It could be something great.
that is totally he gathered the courage to ask.
And I think this explains Penelope and Colin so much
In
because
the jukebox musical in my mind, Violet is singing the song to Colin.
but Colin and Pen were both so afraid of ruining the friendship that, like, what
They
if he
weren't opening
tried
their
and she
mouths.
wasn't interested? And Penelope's afraid of her feelings. And what if he doesn't feel the same way? And she tries to tell him, and what
She
wasn't
didn't want to
convenient
look
because
pathetic
the
because
time.
she's that Featherington girl.
No, but the timing didn't work out because she was trying to tell him. She was trying to ruin the friendship. And then he's like, well, actually, I'm going away. So, like, it wasn't convenient. And there were so many times that Colin and Penn
Yeah.
came so close to sharing their feelings, to opening up, letting the connection open up. But for one reason or another, they both held back. So this song is all about just take the leap of faith. It's worth it. Chase down that carriage. Finger bang that girl in the back of the.
Yeah, because the lyrics that I screenshot were My advice is always ruin the friendship. Better that than regret it. For all time, should have kissed you anyway. And then it said, and my advice is always answer the question. Better that than to ask it all your life. And, that's, I think in that moment where there was that big pause where she's like, but we're just friends, she had a moment where she could have just not answered the question. She chose to answer it. So he had to have the courage to ask, but she also had to have the courage to answer. It's a little easier to answer. You already think they might have feelings, but she's been through so much where somebody says something to her and it seems okay, but it's not. I mean, this is Colin, though. She, ultimately she had to get over that. Would Colin do that to her? She had to decide, was Colin the Colin that he always seemed to be, or was Colin the Colin that said that one little line one time ever in a group of people that, like, in that moment, she had to decide, can I trust the Colin I have come to know and believe him to be, or am I going to punish him for the rest of our lives for being that Colin that one time that night?
Yes. All right. This is one that I'm super excited for because this song is hilarious. This is Snappy Taylor. This isn't even Cruel Taylor. This is Snappy Taylor because she doesn't go cruel. She is witty.
I don't know. I'm going to tell y'all people, I don't know the Taylor Swift lore at all. I don't get into the exes, the boyfriends, the haters, the Easter eggs, none of that. When I was looking through these songs today to get prepared for this pod, I messaged in our chat, like, I need to know who she's rage baiting because she just had a song 2 songs ago about not being savage. She's savage. She is savage. Taylor, you're a liar. You are savage.
Savage Garden was actually inspired by Taylor Swift. But it's actually sweet. All that time you spent on me. It's honestly wild. All the effort you've put in. It's actually romantic. I've really got to hand it to you. No man has ever loved me like you do. Hadn't thought of you in a long time, but you kept sending me funny valentines, and I know you think it comes off vicious, but it's precious, adorable, like a toy chihuahua, or maybe Pomeranian, barking at me from a tiny purse. That's how much it hurts. Hopefully people caught the little Easter egg I threw in there. Because this would 100% be Penelope's diss track to the Queen after she sets the reward to find out who Lady Whistledown is. Like, Lady Whistledown forgets to mention the Queen in her sparkler in one society paper. And it sends the Queen into such a tizzy that she tries to bring down the entire gossip column. This feels like a diss track that Penelope would write if she was feeling incredibly brazen. The toy chihuahua made me think of the Queen's Pomeranian. She's like, your barbs hurt as much as a little bite from your Pomeranians. Like, you're just you're just a little fluff ball. Like, you're insignificant. She's saying to the Queen,
what is Queen Charlotte? When she gets the first Pomeranian and they say it's a dog and she's like, no, it's a deformed bunny. Yeah. She'd be like, oh, you're so adorable. You're like one of your little fluffy deformed bunnies. That's about how scared I am of you. You're a little puffball. Like, I absolutely see that. Because Lady Whistledown holds no more rent space in anyone's head than the Queen. The Queen loves seeing her name in Whistledown, even when it's negative, even when she's being barbed at. She doesn't care.
And then when it's not there, she's like, how dare you forget about me? I am the Queen. I'm not
putting a bounty out on your head.
I'm not just Charlotte. I am the Queen. It was so funny though, because she's like,
and then for those out there who shipped Eloise and Penn for a while, this could also be like where Eloise was trying to find Whistledown all that time. Like, oh, it's so romantic. No man's ever loved me like you.
Yeah, I nearly went from that perspective, but it felt a little too mean towards Eloise. Whereas, like, Penelope / Lady Whistledown and if you're very antagonistic relationship.
I mean, if you're pulling lyrics and you're just looking at specific lyrics, but if you look at the song as a whole and it's a diss track, it's definitely the Queen.
All the time you spent on me.
Or even, it could be her diss track to the whole ton. I mean, they lined up to tell the Queen things they thought they knew about Whistledown.
And it was just hilarious. Like, she's sitting there like watching. She's like, I'm in my happy girl era while you guys lose the plot. And you're never going to find me because you don't even know I exist.
I will, and everybody thinks like, and I mean, Pen is a lady, not yet. She doesn't get to say she's a lady because she isn't married, but she is of the gentry, but she's not posh. And like everybody thinks Lady Whistledown is some bored, rich housewife. Like she is
An
the housewives of Mayfair, right? Ooh. And that's why people, and that's the only reason people were able to believe it was quote unquote Cressida, is because secretly everybody probably believed that Araminta was writing it, but letting Cressida take the credit.
Yeah.
Because people knew Cressida couldn't write that, but Araminta could, and she was just that rich, just that bored, and just that shallow.
And then, how many times has your boyfriend said, why are we still talking about her? Come through, Brimsley and Lady D. They're like, I thought we were done with this. Can we just play chess? Like, don't you have something, don't you have a country to run?
I know Brimsley's probably trying to the king needs you. Like, let's go do something.
The deranged bunnies need walking, ma'am.
No, I mean, like the tone of his voice, even when he goes, she's not drinking the lemonade. Like, he's not scared about it. He's just like, scared. Shit, I'm gonna be hearing about this all day tomorrow.
Oh man.
He's like, son of a gun.
I know what bitching about this for weeks.
He's Googling, is the aide to the queen allowed to call off?
Can I be more than 5 steps, please?
Do I have FMLA?
Fuck my life. I want time off.
That's not what FMLA is.
I know, but it was just so much. Okay. Moving on to wish list, because this one's another cutesy one.
And these are, I officially did not get beyond actually romantic, so these are all new to me. Well, I did look at Wood, but only because I saw stuff about it on TikTok. So I don't know the lyrics at all to wish list, so we're finally somewhere that I haven't looked at. So
there is some background stuff to Wood that we need to talk about. It is not safe for work.
No, we don't. I don't believe that she wrote that song a year ago. I think she heard our one podcast and she was like, "Oh, a tree. Good. That's a good metaphor."
Okay. They want that. No, I'm just thinking about this one creator that was like, okay, redwood tree. Okay, that's what that looks like. And then she's like getting the girth of the redwood tree and putting it on her lap. And she's like, they want that yacht life under the chopper blades. They want those bright lights and Balenci shades and a fat ass with a baby face. They want it all. They want that complex female character. They want that critical smash.
Palme Dior.
And an Oscar on the bathroom floor. They want it all. I just want you, her. Have a couple kids. Got the whole block looking like you. We tell the world to leave us the fuck alone, and they do. Wow. Got me drinking about that. Got me drinking. She's drinking the Kool-Aid. She's drinking the Kool-Aid.
She's drinking the lemonade.
She's drinking
the lemonade.
She's drinking the stepford wife lemonade.
No, she's drinking Travis's lemonade. She's done. She's like, give me it. I'll drink a gallon. Is there vodka in this? I'm drinking it.
Got me dreaming about the driveway with a basketball hoop. Boss up, settle down. Got a wish list. I just you. Firstly, might I just add, this is my new All I Want for Christmas Is You anthem. So to me, this is so pollen coded because on both sides of the ton, everyone has this long list of what they want from a match. The women want someone wealthy, with influence, a huge estate, a juicy title. The men want someone who is beautiful, doesn't talk too much, doesn't have an opinion, will just push out their babies, then leave them the F alone. Penelope and Colin don't care for any of that. They just want a genuine connection where they feel truly seen and loved by the other person. Especially the line where it goes, boss up, settle down. Just like Penelope. She's like, I don't care for any of that. I just want to have my little article, my little outline life, and I just want the guy I love. Like, is that so much to ask for?
Okay, so just seeing these lyrics, okay, in the jukebox musical that is season 3, I see Colin singing this song to Penn. Like, this is but he's saying
he wanted
they
to boss
want
up
that,
so we could.
No, they want that yacht life under the chopper blades. Like, it's naming all the stuff they want in a partner kind of thing, right? And who do we know who had a wish? And who do we know that Colin is antagonistic toward? Because Anthony wanted him to be like him. He goes, you want me to have a checklist. He wants all this stuff. I just want you.
I cannot
Penelope,
wait for
I just want you.
I cannot wait for Penelope and Colin's baby to pop out and start calling Uncle Anthony Nini, Uncle Nini. Because my little
But
cousin
yeah,
Anthony, we call him Nini. So I'm like, in my head canon, Penelope and Colin's kids are calling him Uncle Nini.
because honestly, Colin's whole purpose is amalgamated into the line "boss up, settle down." Like his boss up moment is to settle down and become husband, dad. You know,
Awesome.
Colin, my wife, Bridgerton, and he just wants them to be left the f alone. Like this, I can see in the jukebox musical, this would be Colin's solo. He's singing it to Penn. It's like the romance, like I need you to believe that I really do have feelings for you, you know, where she's like, what? Like instead of him getting down on his knees and saying all that stuff, this is kind of the song. He says that, but it leads into this song. Can't you see it? I can see it.
Okay. Let's move on to
And
Wood.
he's the one who wants all the redheaded kids. He wants a whole block that looks like her. All right.
Got wood, anyone? So wood is about superstition, touching wood, if you will. So in the movie theaters, Taylor's like going through really in depth, like talking about her inspiration for all the songs. She gets the song and she goes, yeah, it's about black cats, you know, daisies, cracks.
Superstition. It's all
Superstition.
superstitious
It's
stuff.
all about superstition. And she does this little smirk. She goes, moving on. I'm like, excuse me, man, that's not what the song is about. And you know it.
Well, she also knew that she was going to be saying that in front of children at the movie theater. So I truly believe that.
She was trolling us 1000%.
No, I think she was Easter egging you because I watched portions of that podcast that they filmed and like her little homages of rubbing his shoulder and, you know, certain things she did. Like she's trying to give you guys hints, all the stuff on the back. Like that's what she does. And this was an homage of, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We don't need the kiddies to know.
So
you know what I mean? Big wink.
Big 9-inch wink, if you will.
Redwood size wink.
More on that later on. Daisy's bare naked. I was distraught. I love Dan Cassio, and he's like, what do you mean? Who's Daisy? Why is she naked? I'm like, Daisy's bare naked. I was distraught. He loves me not. He loves me not. Picking a Daisy, he loves me. He loves me not. Except for Penelope, who's been told her whole entire life, he loves you not. He loves you not. So
her Daisy is naked and it's always not.
This was Penelope's reaction to hearing Colin say he would never dream of courting her. She's pulling the petals off the daisy and everyone is saying, he loves you not, he loves you not. Like every unkind person of the ton saying that Colin could never love her. Like every single petal that she pulls off is her mum saying it, her sister saying it, Colin saying
Marina
saying it. Like everyone in the ton has said it. There's no, he loves you. Like there's no, like at this point, she's so distraught that she has to let him go because why is there no he loves you petal? Not even one. She has no one in her
there's
corner.
no hope left because it's naked. There's not another one to pull.
The bare naked. So I thought that symbolism was actually really beautiful and sad enough. Fingers crossed until you put your hand on mine. Penelope had her fingers crossed that she would just find any husband that was good enough until Colin put his hand on hers after he cut it. And I kind of feel like that was sort of the moment where everything that she'd trying to be pushing down, like, no, we can just be friends. I need to move on. I need to find a husband. And she's like, damn it, I still like him. Like, you know that feeling where you're like, no, we can do this. Like, just friends, touch each other. Can't do it.
Like, so I know I did some, I just singing karaoke last night, a little bit of joy for myself. And I did Stay, at least low. And that whole thing is like, you know.
Not even Stay by Taylor Swift. Stay. I've been loving you for quite some time. That feels very fitting for certain people.
No, but Stay is like karaoke songs I did as an adult. But she says like, I know because I did something wrong because I missed you.
So
like I was supposed to walk away, but I wasn't supposed to miss you.
These lyrics, even though this is the explicit version, sorry, the dirty version. Even though this is the explicit version, there are still certain things that she made a little bit less crass, a little less Featherington. The line goes, forgive me, it sounds cocky. He armatized me and opened my eyes. So there is a saying amongst the youth, he digmatized me, where the dick is so good that you are hypnotized. So that was her.
You don't see red flags at all because you
Mhm.
just see the redwood.
He
Yeah.
armatized me and I opened my eyes. Redwood tree. It ain't hard to see. His love was the key that opened my thigh. This is just so unhinged that it makes me so happy.
For her, but it also fits Colin because the first thing that his
Because,
key opened her thighs.
well, no,
Not as redwood,
this
but
one is a very
his
cheeky play on words that fits the mirror scene slash the first time scene
true.
very well, because when Penelope saw his redwood tree, it suddenly did open her eyes. Her eyes were like globes.
Yeah.
He was like,
it ain't hard to see.
it, and
she gave it ain't hard to see.
Certainly was not hard to see, and it certainly opened her thighs.
And his love is the key that opened her thighs because she was ready to go the whole round because he said he loved her. Like she couldn't even. And for him, she wasn't dickmatized. She was love-matized. Everybody had told her he would never love her. That when he says, "But I love you," and she's like, "Are you sure we're doing this?"
I was writing these lyrics last night and like cackling to myself. I was like,
she's like, "You love me? We're going all the way. I do not want you to stop."
He loves me. He loves me not. He loves me. He digmatized me. All that bitchin', wishing on a falling star, never did me any good. I ain't got to knock on wood. It's you and me dancing in the dark. All over me, it's understood. I ain't got to knock on. It's you and me forever dancing in the dark just makes me think of the wedding scene where everyone just disappears when they are dancing together. Like all the worries and problems melt away, and it's just the two of them in that moment, and like the world just disappears for them.
And knocking on wood, like I know what she's referring to in the song because there is.
It's a double entendre.
It is, and she's saying knock on wood here, but there's another version of it that is like I need to touch wood.
Yes.
Which is a little more sexual.
Yeah.
Knocking on wood is to prevent something from happening. And she's saying I ain't gotta knock on wood now because I got what I wanted. And same with Penn. Like, you know, a portion of Penn, every time somebody said he doesn't love you, he doesn't look at you like that, she was probably like, I need to knock on my desk. Knocking on wood. And she doesn't need to do that anymore. Although I'm kind of worried about that all over me. It's understood. What is that supposed to mean? Is your next album going to be a porn album? I mean, she's talking about a redwood. She must have been with Benedict.
This is Taylor's shortest song she's ever written. It is 2 minutes 30, 230 centimeters, is 9 inches. Nothing with Taylor's coincidental.
That's hilarious.
You're kidding me right now. None of her songs they are like 5 minute, 10, like they are long songs. This is not a coincidence. I think
no, and it's probably something
that the song was so shocking to us. It had to be shorter so that we did not die from clutching our
And it's probably
health.
something that she wrote that it was intentional. It was just going to be between her and Travis, like as a little cheeky joke. And then she's like, I could add 2 minutes 30 to this album. Yeah.
He's like, I'll give you the 2 minutes 30 of your life. I need to move on. Cancelled. Okay, so the lyrics to this one are just like unhinged. There is just so much. So, you thought that it would be okay at first. The situation could be saved, of course, but they'd already picked out your grave and hearse. Beware the wrath of the masked crusaders. Like, note's gone. This song for me feels like she's singing it at Eloise because Penelope has been caked in scandal so many times. At this point, like even at times to save the Bridgerton families at a huge cost to herself. This time, it's Eloise caked in scandal because she thought she could get away sneaking into radical talks to rendezvous with untitled gentlemen, not even gentlemen, untitled men of not even the ton, and live a life not becoming of a young lady. So even though Penelope caused the scandal, it was really to save her from a large one. And so this song talks about how it's easy to love someone when they're popular, but it's who sticks around when you're in the thick of scandal and supports you through those things are who your real life friends are.
Well, so in the jukebox musical of season 3, this would be the whole culmination up into their fight too, because she's like, if you can't be good, then just get better at it. That kind of gives me and that's snark of like, you're just jealous that I did something and you did nothing.
And it gets even more than that. So it says, did you girl boss too close to the sun? Did they catch you having too much fun? Come with me when they'll see us, they'll run. Something wicked this way comes. Good thing I like my friends cancelled. I like them cloaked in Gucci and in scandal, like my whiskey sour and poison thorny flowers. Welcome to my underworld where it gets quite dark. At least you know exactly who your friends are. They're the ones with matching scars. And then there's a really specific line, which is Eloise Swiftie. Did you make a joke only a man could? Were you too smug for your own good, or bring a tiny violin to a knife fight? Baby, that all ends tonight.
Oh, that's straight up Penn saying, talking to her in their fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, like, no, that all ends tonight. You're not going to bring your little violin at me, you privileged Bridgerton.
Yes. And like, but if you can't be good, then just get better at it. Like, this is Penelope saying, everyone does scandalous things, but you need to be more discreet. I saved you from a worse scandal. Like, you're looking at me like I'm the enemy. It could have been way worse. Like, this is a scandal you can survive. The other one, not so much.
Yeah, like if she would have just said, can you imagine if I wasn't Whistledown and Whistledown had found out? I was kind. I was kind.
Can't you see that my infamy loves company? Now you've broken, like they've broken me. But a shattered glass is a lot more sharp. And now you know exactly who your friends are. We're the ones with matching scars. Like, I almost feel like there was a small part of Penelope that was like, this is how I felt all along, even without scandal. Like, we, the Featheringtons, have always been looked down upon and judged in society while you've always had it so easy. Welcome to my underworld. This is also Penelope saying, like, she has grown sharp because of how they have treated her. That was how Lady Whistledown was created, as a way to survive that darkness. It also showed Eloise who was real in society. And what the most surprising of that is, like, if this was Lady Whistledown saying your friends are the ones who stick around even before your exoneration, that was Cressida. And look how you treated her.
Yeah, and I think, like, as we get into it later, like, doing that character chart, like, Cressida is not evil.
No.
She was trying to rise above, and reach out an olive branch and create a connection. And honestly, Cressida is
Eloise
not
was the bad guy in that
Penelope.
situation.
Yeah, Eloise is straight up the bad guy.
She was the villain.
I mean, Cressida's done her thing, but that's what she was raised like, that she's got to make other women look bad so that she looks better. That's how her mom taught her to be. And Penelope was an easy target, but she was trying to do better, and she was trying to have a real friendship and a real connection. And Eloise just sucks as a friend. I hope she needs to, because her season's coming.
Yeah, right. So second to last song, called Honey. This one a little less. This one's a little bit more reachy, but we're gonna do our stretches anyway, people. When anyone called me sweetheart, it was passive aggressive at the bar, and the bitch was telling me to back off because her man had looked at me wrong. Marina. If anyone called me honey, it was standing in the bathroom, white teeth. They were saying that skirt don't fit me, and I cried the whole way home. I can actually almost hear Portia's and Araminta's of the world telling Penelope at the Mideast, oh honey, that's not your color. Oh honey, that doesn't flatter your bigger figure. And we're using it as a way to put Penelope down. And then additionally, as I just said with Marina, oh honey, he doesn't think about you that way. Oh honey,
sweetheart,
you're just a child to him. Like, it has been used with condescension. And that's what the song is all about. How people have used certain words with Taylor to put her down her whole life. And now that those words
I look
are
at it
said
as
with
Penelope's whole name, because we know Colin tends to call her Pen up until, he's decided they're going to marry. And I say he's decided because she doesn't know yet, but he slowly uses Penelope more and more and more towards the end of season 2 and into season 3. I've done that whole count, but he always called her Pen. But when her mom says Penelope, she's like, Penelope. And it just sounds condescending. Like, I wonder how much she's ever heard her name, like, just in general.
Yes.
Like, just saying my name without it having a condescending tone. And I could see her, like, not ever wanting Colin to say Penelope, but when he says it, it has a different connotation. And it's probably why she cut him off in the scene of the first kiss, because he's like, Penelope, to her, she heard that condescension like her mom uses, like, you're going to tell me how stupid this sounds, so I'm going to cut you off.
Yeah.
And that's kind of Yeah, that plays
Yeah.
into this a lot.
Yes, you can call me honey if you want because I'm the one that you want. You give it different meaning because you mean it when like that's very much what you're just saying about how people can rewrite certain words when it's said with the right inflection and the right intonation.
Tone. Yeah.
Yeah, intonation.
The right tone.
Yeah, just the right
Well,
inflection
the
and
intention
the
behind
intention.
it.
Thank you.
And
The
yeah,
intention.
because like I was very much a person. I have a very, very, very unique endearment name that was given to me because
Yes.
I did not want to be honey. I did not want to be baby because at the time of this particular relationship, and I say that because there were a lot of on and offs, I had already been with somebody that was your teetotal, I've got a pager player that they, you know, I mean, his type was why Destiny's Child wrote Say My Name. Okay.
That's actually one of my favorite karaoke songs, FYI.
Yeah. So I did not want to be called honey or baby because I'd heard honey or baby. And it's because when you have somebody who's juggling a lot of women, they can't remember names. They are afraid of saying the wrong name. So everybody becomes honey or baby. And for me, it wasn't condescending like in this song. It was insincere. So I didn't want any of those because to me it felt insincere, right?
Yeah.
And so I got a very, very unique endearment name. And but even like thinking about it recently, because I have used honey in a conversation, said it out loud, and realized what I'd done because the endearment I had was unique for them also, not honey, babe, sweetie, anything like that. But I realized like as I lived through a relationship, a marriage that used those also, it really is the intention behind it.
Yes,
and it doesn't matter what you call someone as long as they know when that word comes out of your mouth, it's meant with love.
Yeah, because I mean, to be fair, I do something and I know it's the next generation, I can't do it because it gets interpreted differently to how it's intended, even if it is said with a kind intention. But I call everyone darling, and a lot of people do not like when you call them terms of endearment if you're not close with them, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
So I try to be more aware of it nowadays. Like I know that the Gen Alphas and that they're like, do not call me darling. I'm not your darling. Like don't call me your bro, mate. Like that kind of whole thing. But like mine is very much. It's never ever been like, oh darling.
Oh no, you very much say it like old Hollywood kind of thing, like hello darling, like just average regular. And I joked one day, or I thought about it in my head because you call me darling all the time. And then like we were on the phone, it wasn't a pod, we were on the phone and Steven walked in and you're like you guys were getting takeaway or something like that, and like did they have whatever, like did you get my whatever darling or whatever, and I was like, oh how dare you. No.
My dad all the time, I'll answer the phone like, hey darling, how you going, like what's going on, and dad's like, oh tell Stephen I say hi, and I'm like, no, it's Caitlin. Like no one can ever tell her because I just talk about like I talk
everybody's
to
darling
with feeling. So I mean it is very much how it is said and how it is interpreted. Like today my student was hopping out of the car, I was dropping her at school, and I was like, have a lovely day darling, and she's like she paused and like was like, oh, like she did like a so yeah, I think it's definitely like feel out how things get interpreted whether or not you use them or not.
Well, like in America especially, like
sweetheart is
sweetie,
condescending
sweetie,
a lot.
Oh sweetie, no. Yeah, there's certain ones that are condescending, like nobody better ever call me sweetie because
if I say oh my sweet summer child, like I am.
Yeah, oh my sweet summer child,
oh
that
my
is
sweet
so
summer child.
Yeah.
All right.
Or bless your heart, like the Southerners say it like it's supposed to be a good thing, but it's straight up judgment.
Sweet peach. Heart. Yeah. Let's move on to the title track, which is our final, because we're at 2 hours, which we're over 2 hours. I lie. It might have to be split into two. I don't know. I'll see how I go. This is me trying. This is Taylor Swift lyric. I'm obsessed, and you guys just get to come along for the ride of my delulu of crossing over between Bridgerton and Taylor, because I need to talk about Taylor, and people in my life get sick of me talking about Taylor. So instead, I just have a few hundred people who welcome to my underworld of delulu Taylor Bridgerton crossover.
I just saw a TikTok today, and it made me think of us and our fans. our community we've created, because we're all like, my family's sick of me and I need friends that talk Bridgerton. I just saw a person on TikTok, because I'm a Star Trek fan too, and she was just like, I like Star Trek and my family's tired of hearing about Star Trek, so I'm on here trying to find friends who like Star Trek so I can talk about Star Trek. I was like, I can see us putting out
say
a
Star Trek
Bridgerton
once more for the.
I can see us doing it. I need Bridgerton friends. If you like Bridgerton, please post in the comments.
Yeah. So even though I'm sure I'm sure there are some of our listeners who are also Tay fans. And the rest of them are just along for the ride. And thanks for coming along for the ride. I might be going 180 on the highway, screaming out the lyrics.
Well, and I don't know if Sarah is a Taylor Swift fan, but she really wanted a more in-depth Penelope analysis, and I think this has fit the bill.
So I have actually started. No. Life of a Showgirl. I'll do that in my outro. Okay. Hey, thank you for the lovely bouquet. You're sweeter than a peach. This goes along with what we're just saying. You're sweeter than a peach, but you don't know the life of a showgirl, babe. And you're never, ever gonna. Wait, the more you play, the more you pay. You're softer than a kitten. So you don't know the life of a showgirl, babe, and you're never gonna wanna. So it says, I took her pearls of wisdom and hung them from my neck. This feels a bit like the Queen realizing that it is Penelope who is Lady Whistledown, and realizing that maybe the motivation of why she became that way. And this is the Queen's warning. This is my Reach episode, okay?
This is the jukebox musical. This is the Queen singing to her on that dance floor stage at the end.
This is the Queen warning Penelope not to let the Ton harden her like it has the Queen, to instead use that power for good. Very much that. She took those pearls of wisdom. I paid my dues with every bruise. I knew what to expect. Do you want to take a skate on the ice inside my veins? They ripped me off like false lashes and then threw me away. All the headshots on the walls of all the dance hall are the pictures. Very Ton-esque. Who wish I'd hurry up and die. But I'm immortal now, baby. Baby dolls. Sorry. Baby dolls. I couldn't if I tried.
Dude, that is straight up the whole last scene. All of the headshots, that's the crowd of people surrounding that round. Because it's like a theater and around, the dance floor's in the center, and all the faces are surrounding it. And I mean, I wouldn't go so far as them thinking they wish she would die. I just think nobody thought of Penelope Featherington.
When I say that they wish she'd die, Lady Whistledown, like the people who had been scorned by her, had wished the society paper would die. The gossip column, not the columnist.
But I get, like, I'm looking at it from, here's Penelope that everybody has talked down about, and like, why is she here? Kind of like in the book, like, oh, didn't see you there, kind of like condescending, like, you're not supposed to be here, or you don't belong here. And then she's like, but I'm immortal now, baby dolls. The Queen has said I get to belong.
Kind of some of the Taylor lore for this one, and this is just fan interpretation, not lore. There's been a lot of speculation that this is actually about Britney Spears. And Taylor was a big Britney Spears fan when she was young, and she went to some of the shows, and there's pictures of a very, like, probably a 12 to 13, maybe 14-year-old Taylor backstage at a show with Britney, and then like lots of crossover photos of them throughout the years. And so a lot of people are speculating that this was, and because you're sweeter than a peach, I recall Britney using phrases like that back on the Newlywed show that she had with Facey McFace dude.
The O-Town guy.
From the boy band. Yeah.
Something Lachey. Nick Lachey.
Nick Lachey. She used to say phrases like...
No, Nick Lachey was...
it is Nick...
not Britney Spears. That was Jennifer.
Oh, that was
Jessica Simpson.
Oh, sorry, I'm confusing Jessica. No.
Justin, isn't it Justin something, the dancer? Wasn't she? Didn't she do his name's
the backup dancer? Oh, whatever.
Yeah, the backup dancer.
Kevin Federline. Kevin Federline.
Sorry, you're so irrelevant, Kevin, that we couldn't remember your name. Sorry.
Yeah. Just the husband of one of the pop stars.
Yeah.
But anyway, she used to say things like sweeter than a peach because she is from
like Louisiana, Missouri, something like that.
I think she was from Georgia.
I think it's like
Mississippi.
Missouri, Mississippi, Louisiana.
In Mississippi, and then raised in Louisiana. Okay. So she's very much Southern Belle. So like those are definitely the words of a Southern Belle. Just saying, interpretation. Anyway, yeah, it's basically saying like you don't want to be a showgirl. Like they will tear you apart. They will literally rip you from limb if you let them. Like it will destroy your self-esteem, your self-worth, and like one wrong move and they like tear you down and they revel in it. And I mean, Penelope's seen that time and time again in the ton. Like even though she's Lady Whistledown, she's still at risk of being torn apart by them, especially as Penelope when she's not behind the quill.
Well, and honestly, she's watched her mother, like their whole family has been torn down and built themselves back up so many times, you know. But I can see like as a Gen Xer, I always say like we took the hard blows, like we were the bottom of the pyramid so that you millennials and Gen Z and everything could rise above. Like in the working world, in the corporate world,
Yeah.
we fought, we
Yeah.
were the worker bees that complained and opened our mouths about how things weren't working so that millennials could get leadership positions and start making change. And now Gen Z is flat out like, if you don't provide this, we're not going to work for you. And
Hmm.
so there's always that the first people that come through something, right? So Brittany, Jessica Simpson,
The girls who kind of paved
Christina
the road.
Aguilera. Yeah, they paved the way. They went through all of that. Oh, they're feuding, cat fight.
Yeah.
You know, she thinks she's more famous than her because women have to fight. They all paved the way and gave all of their own advice
Yeah.
so that Taylor could rise as
Yeah.
she has and overcome all of it because they tried to her and Selena Gomez and their feud and this public, oh, she's dissing everybody, oh, she's calling out her exes, like
Not
she's
Selena.
risen above.
Her and Selena are besties.
Yeah, but there was a whole period of time where the media was trying to say that they were rivals all the time.
Mm.
They were fighting their
Taylor's
rivals.
Taylor's very much a girl's girl of I want to lift up all the other I'm going to use my power to lift up the other girls, the other women of the ton. Like she's very much like always
Yeah.
encouraging and helping and giving credit where credit's due. She's always the first person to stand up at the music awards and sing and dance to other people like on stage, like to encourage them, and she's the first person to stand up and clap when someone beats, like when someone wins, even if it's them beating her. Like she is a girl's girl and very much of the Lady Whistledown, writing about the new debutantes of the ton and lifting them up and making them feel seen. Like
Yeah,
that's
because I
the
was just
vibe.
thinking about that when you have like kind of the old school snarky ones, like Miss Goring and all them
Yes.
sitting there talking about like, oh, she hasn't been out, she this, she that, talking nasty. And then you have the debutante, she is lifted up, like Emma Kenworth. I wanted her
Yes.
to talk about my betrothal. I wanted her
Yeah.
to talk about my new dress. Like
Yeah.
it's not anything bad.
She talks
But
about
the
me. She
people,
mentioned me. Yeah.
yeah, the people who came before who went through the era of Whistledown being a snipey, snarky canine bearing her teeth,
Hurting.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that, you know, they
When
saw her
Penelope
as,
was in her tortured poets era.
yeah, tortured poets era for sure. Yeah,
Definitely was
like
not in her
they
love era.
remember that Whistledown and they are expecting negative and they're being negative, but the
Yeah.
people who have been lifted up are only thinking of what nice things she would have said about them now that she's gone.
Yes. So for today, gentle listeners, we will leave it there and continue on next week's episode. I'm gonna throw it out there. So I actually originally started this as doing because Taylor now has 12 eras. So obviously we have covered the latest era, which is Penelope. I have already chosen out who the other sibling and what their eras would be and started notes. So if that's something that you were interested in, please drop that below and we will make those YouTube exclusives. And I'll probably also head on over to TikTok and actually try to live again and do little snippets of that. So you can get like a little taste of what they are going to be much briefer. I'm good at words. They're going to be a lot more brief than what this one is, but because this is brand new and exciting and not many people know all the lyrics and everything yet, I really wanted to dive deep and live in my best Taylor Delulu era. So if you would like to see what other
So
Bridgerton
were
siblings,
we a safe space today, Tosh?
thank you for living in
Were,
my Taylor era with me because I'm so excited and I'm just a little Delulu queen. So thank you for being my safe space and letting me talk about Taylor.
because if it matters to you, it matters to me.
We'll do a Golden Girls one day. Okay, I promise I will catch up. So
I already equate it all the time to Little Women and Anne of Green Gables and all that all the time.
yes.
And Pride and Prejudice. My safe spaces
Well,
have
I
been
went and
covered.
watched Anne of Green Gables for you, and I loved it so much. It's so beautiful. It's very
Well,
much
you've seen the Anne with an E. When I
Anne
show
with an
you
E.
Anne of
Sorry.
Green Gables,
Yeah.
you'll be
Okay.
like,
Yeah. So we will cover what siblings are the other remaining 11. Well, obviously, there's only 8 siblings and 11 eras. We might have to put some bonus people in there. Um,
well, yeah. I mean, Penn is not an original sibling, so I think we can find
I
some
feel
other
like
people
she
that
is, though, to be fair.
she is and isn't. Like she's the super bestiest
She's
bestie ever
she
of
is
a
a
Bridgerton.
she is
So
a Bridgerton, so it counts, okay? If you have anything in particular you would like us to cover or any Bridgerton knowledge you would like to share, please head to our Facebook page, The Ladies Bridgerton. And if you're enjoying our podcast, please remember to click like, subscribe, and leave a comment wherever you are listening or what.
yeah. And once again, thank you for listening to the musings of one very mad Swiftie and her podcast partner, who was like,
Very patient podcast partner.
well, not patient. Like
Patient
I like
Patty.
Taylor Swift, but I'm not.
Patient,
Yeah, I wore my
patient Patty.
patient pants today. I mean, I got you to change it to Penelope so I could talk Penelope. So
Yes. Yours truly, Tash the Mad Kiwi.
and Lady Pattie.
See you.